Last week you learned to use Microsoft Word features to build a flyer with pictures and formatted text, and to format a research paper in the MLA style format. This week you will explore educational uses of Microsoft Word and evaluate educational applications that support the California Common Core state standards. Resources for these learning outcomes are posted in the guided exercise assignment area. Most importantly, remember to post your individual contribution within the availability time of your team. You chose your team based on the time you had available to study. Honor your team's time. What is taught in classrooms today is based on the California State Common Core standards. The Common Core standards identify what students should know at every grade level and for every subject taught in public schools. You might choose to communicate to parents through your teacher website the Common Core standards that are being addressed in the curriculum for a particular week or grading period. This week, you will use your internet searching skills to identify an educational application to support one Common Core standard. There are lots of standards, but you are only going to select one. In addition, you will search for educational uses for Microsoft Word and create a resource for students or parents with the Word software application. In the resource area for this week's Guided Teacher website exercise, you will find links to the Common Core state standards. Peruse the list of standards and suggest one that interests you to your team. The standard you suggest should be related to the grade and/or subject decided last week. Notice the Grade 6 excerpt from the Common Core standards addressing key ideas and details. While there are 3 standards visible, only one is selected. Once you've suggested a standard, identify an educational application that supports the attainment of that standard. Since the Common Core standard I selected on the previous slide related to finding themes and central ideas, I found this app that helps students find the main idea of reading a passage. In your post for this week, you will suggest an educational app to support the Common Core standard you suggested. This week, you and your team will add 2 additional uses for Microsoft Word to any of the 4 remaining web pages and a recommendation for an educational app that supports one Common Core standard. You may create your own Microsoft Word documents or use existing student worksheets and parent communication letters that have been made using Microsoft Word. The audience of the documents must be students or parents, written in kid-parent-friendly language. Please do not explain how you would use Microsoft Word to send a welcome letter to the student and parent prior to the start of school. This would not earn any points on the rubric. Instead, you would write a Dear Students and Parent letter using Microsoft Word. Another non-example would be to explain how you would create a worksheet or an exam using Microsoft Word. Instead, you would create the worksheet or exam with a place for the student's name, the date, and maybe 5 math problems or whatever content you want to add. Again, it's okay to modify existing content on the web. You do not have to start from scratch, but all content must be within the classroom context agreed upon by the team. So you'll modify whatever you find on the web to reflect the content or to reflect the context that your team decided. Before you submit your responses to this week's guided exercises, review the assignment rubric for online collaboration to ensure that you earn the highest points possible for your contributions. Make sure your responses contain all the items in the exemplary column. If you work on the guided exercises each week, there will be only minor edits to make as the due date approaches. The items added to the website do not have to be completely built or finished this week. There will be time allotted during week 7 to finish building the website. Here's a recap of the criteria for your individual post. You will suggest a Common Core standard, an educational app recommendation to support the attainment of the standard, and 2 educational uses for Microsoft Word. I'll be keeping a watchful eye on your team's interactions. Should you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to let me know.